Hi, I'm Rajira Toussaint Michelle, and thank you for joining me for how to align your calendar with your sales goals. This is a quick tutorial to get you started. So if you have any questions once you do, let me know in the comments or on social. I'm at Rajira MTM everywhere. So first and most importantly, the way to do this is with a client relationship manager or a CRM, as it's often called. The reason why is that using a CRM not only gives you a command center with all of your information and all of your ideas in one central location, but it also allows you to automate anything and everything related to your campaigns, assuming you have the budget to connect all of those things. So that's the goal, that's the dream. So we're going to start off as though that will manifest. So once you are in a CRM, you want to make sure that you have connected your email, your contacts, and your calendar. Now, I'm using HubSpot here because it's free and it allows you to do this for free, but you can typically do this with any CRM. You just might have to pay for those features. There are also CRMs out there that are open source, which do make this process a little bit cheaper. So those are worth a try as well if you have the time. Now, that being said, if your CRM doesn't walk you through this in like your setup or your onboarding process, you can typically find it under settings. You'll typically find email or calendar sections, something along those lines. So just be sure that you have everything being pulled in automatically so that you don't have to take the time to pull it in yourself. Next, you want to make sure that your pipeline is aligned with your sales process. So if you haven't already defined your sales process, this is the time to do so. And you can use the default. There's typically a default pipeline with default stages in your CRM. If not, it's easily Googleable or drop some questions. I'm happy to help. And HubSpot, it's called deals. Sometimes it's opportunities. It'll be different potentially based on your CRM. But once you get in there, you can adjust the stages of your pipeline to match your sales process. So what you want to do is make sure that the very first stage is your default stage, because everyone that you enter, whether it's automatically through something like a web form or manually after maybe you pick up a business card, everyone that you enter will default to this first stage. So save yourself, your team, a lot of time and energy, and just make sure that's where you want everyone to be by default. And then you're essentially basing your activities, your tasks, your emails on which stage each person is in, which is part of the sales strategy process anyway. So this lets you do a lot of that automatically. Say you move someone from this stage to this stage, you might have an email sequence that then goes out automatically, for example. So suddenly, just by moving a person or changing one field in their record, you suddenly sent them down an email nurturing path. And as you grow and build this out, it connects to everything from your social media to advertising and offline efforts. So that's the first two parts. The last thing, and I'm actually going to go into the contacts to show you this, is that you want to make sure that you've made room for all of the information that you want to keep track of. So for example, a lot of CRMs do not give you a birthday field by default, but a lot of people do send happy birthdays and want to keep track of such things. So you can create an additional field, right, like these here, say email, phone. These are default based on your deal stage and when you add them. But you can add something like birthday or maybe referred by, so that you can also automatically take action on those things as well. Automatically send a birthday email, automatically send a thank you for a referral, for example. So that's also something that you do over in settings as well before you start entering any contacts or deals or tasks. So be mindful of those two things. You want to get it set up before you start using it in the way that you want, because otherwise you'll have to go back and then add information after the fact to each record that you've entered, and no one wants that. So by default, HubSpot gives you a few sample contacts. That's who we're using here. And once you have your information, your contacts, your deals, etc., added, you now get this clear, full picture of each contact. You can go in here and add any associated tasks and assign them to your team members, or make sure that they're on your calendar because you've synced your calendar now, so that you see 3 months, 6 months out exactly what you have on your plate and can then plan around everything better. If you saw our previous video on managing your calendar before you're even integrating it, this is also why I say add those personal items, those personal things as well, so you can see everything and plan accordingly. And then we come over to adding deals. So once you have qualified a lead and you think you're ready to negotiate some type of contract or purchase, that's when you start adding a deal. And you can give it a name, and you see that it goes to your default pipeline. You can have multiple pipelines, but keep in mind that's typically a paid feature. And then you'll see all of those stages that we saw back there in settings. Get a few more options. You can always add custom fields or properties as well. And then everything is linked not only to the contact, but to their company if they have one, and to any products you might want to add. So you don't have to say, this person is buying this pink sweater each time. You can select the sweater or have it automatically selected based on this person's website selections, and so on and so forth. So you can see how automation becomes more and more important as you grow. So that's essentially it. Short, sweet, and to the point. Again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Let me know on social. I'm Ruggiera MTM everywhere, and I will see you next time.